You are now in the black box. Whoa. With Spider Loke, Most Easty, aka BJ Keyway, and the Google Gang. Let's go!
Snakewood and that Hustle. Big shout out to my nigga SPI, Spider Loke. You know I'm in the black box, had to come through, tap in, show love one time. Yeah, y'all make sure y'all subscribe. Stay tuned, all that.
Jeter, gratitude is the attitude. The show is a blessing to be back in the black box as we blow a succession. The constant, continuous, consistent content creation campaign continues. Those there are the 7 C's. As we navigate upon them, I am the captain of the voyage, SPI Easty, a.k.a. VJ Keyway. We're back around Al Prophet's corner one more again, reacting to a piece of content he created entitled, Should Adam22 be paying Bricc Baby throughout the no jumper drama? You know, that's a question that's going around the sector right now since Bricc Baby is down. And I figured it's a 20-minute video. I ain't gonna say much. You know, I'm gonna get in and get out. But let's see, with no further ado, what Al Prophet says Adam22 and Bricc Baby should or should not be up to. Oh, my mama.
As the frustrations of sitting in the Metropolitan Detention Center, the federal lockup there in downtown LA, probably starts to wear on Bricc Baby and all those guys, tensions are boiling, and Bricc Baby said something in a phone call.
Hey, it's that big old deal, man. It's the Bricc, man. While everybody laid up with their feet up out there vacationing, playing like they ain't got nothing for the kids, man. You already know we still keeping it strong. Nigga don't need nothing for. Hey, sometimes it be a mental test to see where a nigga hard at in his chest, man. You know what I'm saying? A motherfucker use you, abuse you. As soon as you get out the way, they act like they ain't worried about losing you. You know what I mean?
Adam.
Oh, my mama. Is that a poem? Did Bricc Baby write Adam22 a poem? I know Loose Lips, Coochie Colin, Ashley Cannon purchased his puppies some winter wear for Christmas. I think it was some sweaters or something for some French poodles or something, or French bulldogs. But that was such a sweet gesture. And now it appears that Bricc Baby may or may not be writing poetry to Vladimir Agent 22. I don't know. Let's see.
22 seems a little overly touchy, didn't like, so he blasted back.
Okay, so if you didn't catch it, this is a thinly veiled shot at the 22 stir. I was on vacation. I did have my feet kicked up. But let's talk about Bricc Baby, and in particular, the financial side of my relationship with the Bricc, not the trick. When Bricc Baby came on the platform 2 years ago, pretty quickly, the feds ran up in his crib and raided him. He needed money to get out. Now, it's been discussed at length that I fronted him an amount of money, $5,000.
Which blows my mind, because Bricc Baby stood on your very platform and claimed that he's basically there just for the leisure, because he was simultaneously making upwards of $700,000 in the streets. So how does he need to hustle you out of this little chump change? I'm lost, bro. So you telling me the whole situation is a play and I'm the only one didn't know? Y'all crafty, crazy. Sheesh.
So that he could get out the same day that he was picked up. I know Whack 100 and a few other people have been spreading information saying that this was cap. I don't know. Honestly, the other day in the Reddit, somebody posted information saying that he really did have a bail and that was where the $5,000 went. I never really heard about it. I heard rumors in the streets that maybe this money was not required for him to be bailed out, that he didn't have a bail. But I did see these screenshots in the Reddit that make it seem as if he did have a bail. I didn't make a big deal out of it. I gave him the money, had to get him back out on the streets. I knew that he had potential. I knew that I could take him from being a marginal figure in the LA podcasting space to being.
Let me translate for you. I knew I was finna get that little 5 bands back off. All I need to do is get him back in front of my 5 million viewers and shortchange him on the split, because I hate to occupy all this camera time by myself on my mama facts over feelings. I'm not lying, keeping it a Google. When I asked Adam what's the job requirements right there in front of Bricc, baby, he said, you see these bozos, and pointed right at him. And that's what he needs in order to get the big chunk of the money. Just think, in the indictment, they said they learned on wiretap that Bricc, baby, hit a lick, allegedly, independently of anyone, and he broke somebody off that had nothing to do with the lick. So I see he's used to accepting the short end of the stick. Just as long as he can wear designer and sit up and pretend and appear to be like he on top of things. He could get on camera, show you some stacks of money in a hotel room. You don't know who's in the cut in that room, whose money that actually is, but that he seems like he's satisfied with that. If he could jump on the platform and say, I made $700,000 in the street last year, you don't have to substantiate it. He's happy, he's satisfied with that. Facts.
One of, if not the most talked about person in the podcasting space, which is exactly what has happened.
Now, what is the responsibility of a person, an employer, or even a friend or something to somebody? My thing is, if you go to jail for a crime and I wasn't part of it, like you were doing stuff and not giving me any of the money, why am I supposed to put up a bunch of money to bail you out or to give you large chunks of money while you're locked up? Apparently, according to Adam22, Bricc baby wants to be continued to pay his weekly salary. And all along,
I hate that fact I have to let you in on a little secret about NIDS, us, my people. When I've been trying to explain this to Agent Adam22 for the longest, the one and only absolute reason that anyone from our culture is around him is for the clout, exposure, and the money. This is what happens when you come from amongst the have-nots and you got a big, tall, goofy white boy who allows another man to dig deep down up in his wife's womb. We typically, no questions asked, look at him like someone we can get away with something with. So they're all around trying a hand because he markets himself as a millionaire. That's the only reason they're around this dude, bro. He's not cool. You're like a cool kind of like white boy, Al. You a white boy I have a drink with, maybe a steak, conversate outside of creating content. We've created content together like Adam and myself. However, you're someone I perhaps would entertain socially. Adam is not even the cool kind of white boy. That's why you don't even see him with a nice, cool group of white friends. He's trying to fit in and be relevant amongst us when the only relevance he has is the ching-ching. And unfortunately, my people are addicted to the clout and the dopamine. So he got the two. Plus, guess what? Now he got Nia sitting around waiting for a shot to fuck his wife. Because he's been open to show he's willing to let Nia's actually auction for the love of Lena. How about that?
No.
And he's been diabolical, disgusting, disrespectful enough to be on a public platform and says he wouldn't mind if his little tiny baby girl followed in her mother's footsteps. Ain't that about disgusting? Oh, my mama.
Once the pandemic ended and the massive uptick in minutes watched was going down, I thought, because again, I did a similar thing. I had a building, I had some different people. Obviously, I didn't get anywhere, like no jumper. But I realized it's very easy to spend money and it's cool and you got a building and stuff's going on, but like how much money is really being generated? And all those people he has now working, you see they're falling off one by one, and him saying that No Jumper's going to go bankrupt or is bankrupt. He played a game of having all that edgy stuff going on up there. He's certainly at risk for some lawsuits at the least. And I'm sure he probably wants to get rid of employees. And in a business where, like, let's say you're making, I don't know, $100,000 a month or $300,000 a month in No Jumper. Well, if you have $310,000 a month in expenses, you just lost money, right? If you have $260,000, well, you made $50,000. A 20% change in your expenses changes you from making a lot of money to wasting all that time and being in debt. So he's gonna.
What y'all bet? Arizona, Nevada, or New Mexico? Those are my top three guesses. And my actual guess is Arizona. And I'm talking about where he is, just looking at the landscape behind him. And I'm just guessing for trivia. No other reason.
Gonna be only letting people come on there that probably basically their payment is you get exposure. If Bricc Baby was getting paid all these years, he did good. He was making money. It was kind of funny, Adam complaining about $2,000 or something. Even if I didn't feel like I owed it to somebody, someone I knew and was working with and was even half, I mean, they're around each other quite a bit, so they must be somewhat friendly. I would feel bad about mentioning that when a guy's facing all that prison time, but this is why mixing people that's living two different kind of ways.
I thought he was going to go with the old faithful, business and pleasure, friends and business, family and business. You don't mix it, because when business is heartless, it has absolutely no feelings. Meaning when it's over with, wherever you happen to be standing, on what side of the fence, short end, long end of the stick, it's what it is. You just deal with it. However, that affects people's feelings, because people go into business with their feelings. And typically, feelings, the person with the short end of the stick, feelings are not positively affected. That's why you avoid going into business with friends or family, because when business, the primary reason why we are dealing one with the other, does what it does, and you end up with the short end of the stick, your feelings are going to be affected. And I'm going to be committed to following through with this business that we embarked upon, and your feelings won't matter. Facts over feelings on my mama.
Legal and street. People like to jump over both sides of the fence, and that goes vice versa for the street people that want to dabble with legal people. If one person's legal and one person's living a different way, they're not going to deal with situations in the same manner. Why would they? They have different value system, different lifestyles. I'm curious and interested to see what the hell a lot of these podcasts, but No Jumper specifically, will do now that there's definitely going to be, there's already been a lot of people who have gone to jail and they've used.
Bro, on my mama, haven't you not seen? Vladimir Agent 22 has still been up there asking a similar line of questions that could easily open up the identical style of dialogue. I have no idea. It seems like he has no understanding that we are more dynamic as a people than that small, minute subject matter that he chooses to discuss. I don't know why he can't look across the vastness of this World Wide Web and see how many of my people are engaged in dialogue publicly that do not ever embark upon any of the subject matter that he chooses to focus upon. But for some reason, he likes to hyper-focus on that, and it really is more of an indication of his perception of us as a people than anything, because I am quite sure he has lived a world of experiences around people who talk all day long around the clock about things other than that. Lena, one for example, I'm sure she does not entertain the conversations that he goes on these platforms and talks about consistently, constantly, continuously. Oh, my mama. This is just what all we're worth as a people. Then he goes talk about politics, maybe even religion, even though he says he believes in nothing. I highly doubt that. That's usually the person the most fearful of whatever that thing we're all fearful of. The person most fearful of it usually takes the most outwardly objective a position objecting it. Because we all know it's unknown. And it is like a gamble. Like I'll be sometimes tempted or have been tempted with just saying "Fee-nuck it." But I'm a little too scared of that. But I'm not as scared as him because the real scared one. But see, white boys, they chase fear. Even the way he sit up under the likes of the 4 extras and the whole no hundreds and talk how he talk and push the envelope. They be addicted to fear. He used to flip his bicycle upside down and risk breaking his neck, popping willies before he ever got a check for it. It's just something about the bungee jumping white boys. Oh, my mama. How many niggas you ever hear about getting ate by a shark?
Things they said on social media against them. But this case with the whole, all the stuff around Bricc Baby, Loose Cannon, Big U, really anyone with some sense is going to say, boy, I better watch what I say, especially when you realize you could be talking about crimes whose statute of limitations is long past, but they could be.
Just think of how, well, yeah, I guess he was scared when he said that shit at the DW Flame, but he said it right there in that small space. That might look like a larger space on TV to y'all, but that's a very small space, and DW Flame fills that space up. So when he stood up, I know all the fear that Adam has ever felt about what can happen next, because this is a big black gangbanger that I just offended. That rushed through his body. Facts on my mama.
Used as predicate acts to say, oh, well, yeah, like the RICO thing is spooky because they can take old events and connect them to more recent and current events and say, oh, this is an ongoing criminal thing. So there'll be a real pall, or there'll be less people willing to talk. But, you know, you can't blame, for the most part, the podcasters, the people with the platforms, because people go on there, you know, hoping it's their chance to make some money to hit it big. In the case of Bricc Baby, as far as what we see in the paperwork from Big U and his indictments, Bricc Baby was hitting licks on people. If you were willing to do that, why wouldn't you go on the internet and talk, right? I mean, to make money. So, and then Adam has some very strong words for Sharp.
Keep in mind, Bricc and Sharp have had a weird relationship over the years, because when we fell out with Sharp, Bricc talked hella shit about him on the platform.
I've seen this clip in like multiple videos we reacted to. This question was asked, should he be paying him, right? I'm going to just answer it. And if you really want to get down to the nitty gritty of what Al Prophet came to, you can go on over to his channel. But for me, and I'm going to give you two answers, because this is how Bricc used to answer questions in regards to me. If I'm going to say, this he had one perspective was, if he was the white boy, then he would say, what he genuinely feels, supposedly. I don't understand why somebody thinks my intellect is so low that they can like pull that little bullshit on me. But I used to just, I never just snap. I'd let a nigga think, oh, okay. But that's how I used to try to, if I was the white boy, I understand why he let you go if Wack can come up in there making all this noise. But me, I wouldn't do it, cuz. So, let me say, from the perspective of the white boy, hell, motherfucker, no, you ain't finna pay no near. You was giving crumbs to let occupy your platform, who was so happy at the camera time. He was taking the crumbs and then trying to scheme me and scam me by charging for interviews behind my back and borrowing thousands from me, upwards up to like 8 to 10,000 and not paying me back because he knows I'm too nervous to ask him about it and all that. Hell no, he shouldn't be paying him. And then I'm going to answer from Bricc Baby's perspective, with Neil perspective, sliding up on a pack of wood that just got that Millie ticket, and I'm just the only reason I'm around to kick it. Hell yeah, cuz. I was banging no jumper crip, cuz, on the dead homies, cuz. I let you sex play me, cuz, in front of the world, cuz. Turn my back on the gang of niggas, cuz. SPI, caught trick on SPI, let you incriminate him, cuz. Talking about he do dope and call him a J-Cat, cuz. I'm supposed to check you, cuz, on 6-0, cuz. Hell yeah, you supposed to pay me, cuz. I'm a Baymax 6-0, cuz. I be about my money at all costs like Blue Swerve.
Hop on the interstate and chase me a bag. Pop bottles every time that I pass. It's that mafia swag, fly crippin'. You see me drippin' all this Max sauce. Baymax, be about your money at all costs. Hop on the interstate and chase me a bag. Pop bottles every time that I pass. It's that mafia swag, fly crippin'. You see me drippin' all this Max sauce. Baymax, be about your money at all costs. I'm from the land of the crack pavement. When niggas holler stay dangerous and squabble up just like Javante Davis. Niggas haters, they on lame shit. We be on that game shit. He thought he got away. I chase him down LeBron James shit. Blood stain from the stainless, he need a paramedic. And we play ball. Everybody around me athletic, still stepping, well committed. I stand on business. Every load I jump in, that bitch tinted. Gon' catch me slipping. About my money low, run me that bag. Call my bitch and say I need you. She gon' run to me fast. That mafia swag, she can't get enough. And she know I'm by my man. She let her sit and watch me add all this money up. Riders popping out the cut like roaches when the lights on. I'm just like BG with my niggas, whether right or wrong. Dead in mafia, you entering the danger zone. Tiny Macs be cracking heads, you better have your helmet on. Hop on the interstate and chase me a bag. Pop bottles every time that I pass. Just that mafia swag, fly crippin'. You see me drippin' all this Max sauce. Baymax, be about your money at all costs. Hop on the interstate and chase me a bag. Pop bottles every time that I pass. It's that mafia swag, fly crippin'. You see me drippin' all this Max sauce. Baymax, be about your money at all costs. These niggas be hopping out of foreign whips and feeling like they run shit. The homie like Nick Cannon, he a fool with them drumsticks. Serve him and they done with. Have all of them niggas hit. Something heavy in my Baymax sweater. You see the gun print. Yeah, got me bent behind tent, but I'm low key, give a fuck about the busters. The real niggas fuck with me, I move solo. Two pro clubs over polo. You won't catch me in none of you niggas photos. Y'all too friendly. Hopping out, spilling my Remy, smoking on good pressure. Always in a different load. Gotta keep these niggas guessing. Firearms in my possession. Steady counting my blessings. Believe in God and believe in this weapon. And try not to do too much stressing. Ain't seen my daughter in months. And when we FaceTime, I shed tears, I can't help it. And still connected in these streets just like Wi-Fi. Chucking up the set for death though. We gon' rip ride. Hop on the interstate and chase me a bag. Pop bottles every time that I pass. It's that mafia swag, fly crippin'. You see me drippin' all this Max sauce. Baymax, be about your money at all costs. Hop on the interstate and chase me a bag. Pop bottles every time that I pass. It's that mafia swag, fly crippin'. You see me drippin' all this Max sauce. Baymax, be about your money at all costs.
Nightwood Net Hustle. Big shout out to my nigga SPI, Spotter Low. You know I'm in the black box, had to come through, tap in, show love one time. Yeah, y'all make sure y'all subscribe. Stay tuned, all that.
It's the homie cook-up boss, goddammit, Cub Low.
And y'all tuning in to the Wake and Bake Show with goddamn it, the homeboy Spider Low.
Here with SPI, the realest nigga in LA.
Spider this bitch.
My nigga Spider Low.
Spider Loke, nigga.
Spider Low.
Spider Loke.
Spider Low.
Spider Loke.
Spider Low.
Spider Low, that's my nigga.
Spider Low.
Spider Low.
Shout out to SPI, that motherfucking nigga.
Spider Low, Wake and Bake. Better keep it Google, nigga.
Loke is in LA somewhere doing what he's doing.
In the words of Spider Loke on my mama's mama.
Spider Loke's gear. This is Bay Mac.
Nate Blood, C-Mac. Shout out my Loke, Spider Loke, huh? Nate Blood on Hood. It's a beautiful world. You fight me? Fight, quit.
Point blank, through no subliminal dissing. When I listen, I can tell you never been on no mission. Sticking to the script, don't care if I offend you. Neighborhood crib, the marathon
I overlook my competition, never seeing them. I done trained my mind that I'm going. You could tell by how I walk, talk, I'm a boss. A east side millionaire, homie, what you thought? My life is a movie. They can't get close to me. They mad cause they can't be. I'm everything that they wanna be, yeah.
You are now in the Black Box. Whoa! With Spider Loke, Most Easty, aka BJ Keyway, and the Google Gang. Let's go!